up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, a Grovetown inmate back behind bars after being on the run for 2 hours. At a Graniteville, man with dementia is found alive and well after a search all night.
Finally, rain chances will be on the increase. Well, the forecast details coming up. You're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
On your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Good evening, I'm Lindsay Tuman. Thanks for joining us. A Grovetown inmate is back behind bars after escaping while on work detail. 46-year-old Walter Browner was serving time for shoplifting. He also has a hold from the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. From the crime team, News 12's Alma McCarty spoke with folks who saw the search happening in their own backyards.
Lindsay, around 10:50 this morning, officers say Browner took off running. Now he's back in custody. This just a year and a day after 2 Grovetown inmates escaped from the Grovetown jail yard. Police officers and deputies stood at the ready on train tracks at the end of Hardy Drive.
Just got off work from midnights and there's a motorcycle cop parked out there in my driveway, so I just wondered what was going on.
Robert Blackston lives just down the road. He says he wanted to know who could be hiding in his own backyard.
Get my pistol, have it locked and loaded and ready to go.
Law enforcement was also ready to go. They started searching along this neighborhood road after a Grovetown inmate took off, running in the middle of town. Grovetown Police Chief Scott Wheatley says that the inmate, Walter Browner, was on work detail here, right outside of the station. And exactly a year and a day ago, 2 Grovetown inmates escaped from inside the jail. That search lasted 24 hours, involving multiple agencies. Deputies say last year, Joshua Gray and Michael Davis shimmied open a gate and hopped a barbed wire fence where a car was waiting for them. This time around, the inmate escaped on foot.
Would think he'd be going towards Parham Road to get further away from the subdivisions and stuff.
A short time later, the suspect was taken into custody on Pallady Drive. I would say at least a mile. It's off Newmantown Road, out near Gordon Highway.
Browner was serving time for a non-violent shoplifting charge, and he has a hold from the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Robert says with the Augusta Medical Prison close by, hearing of an escapee isn't new to him.
Not the first time I've seen this happen here. I guess it's been about 10 or 12 years ago. We caught one of the prisoners that escaped, and they caught it right there at the bottom of the hill from my house. He was laying in the ditch.
Grovetown Public Safety says Browner's original sentence, 6 months. Now, the police chief says Browner will be charged with the escape and will be transported to the Columbia County Detention Center.
Thank you, Alma. The Saluda County Sheriff's Office say they found a stabbing victim stolen Jeep in a Walmart parking lot. Deputies say they responded to a call on Hollywood School Road just after 8 o'clock this morning where they found 39-year-old Christopher Miller with several stab wounds. He was airlifted to the hospital and is now in stable condition. Deputies say the suspect stole the victim's Jeep. They found it in West Columbia around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Investigators say they also have several suspects in a hotel room in case. They are working to determine if any of them are the attempted murder suspect.
Well, to wrap up the weekend, we've had another day with mainly dry conditions and a clear sky that we can see right now from our live eye camera looking towards Augusta. There's a view, just a few puffy fair weather cumulus clouds in the view there. So since there's a lot of sunshine there, temperatures were able to make it into the mid and upper 90s for most of us this afternoon, just like we have at the moment. But a few locations like in Augusta are starting to cool off a bit. 93 degrees is the current reading at the regional airport there, and we'll see those temperatures cool off into the 70s by midnight and the upper 60s by tomorrow morning. We'll have the details on the full forecast coming up.
Georgia State Patrol tells News 12 a single car crash killed 3 people on I-20 around 11:30 this morning. The accident happened on I-20 eastbound near mile marker 153. That's close to the Taliaferro County line. GSP says a Toyota Scion drove into the shoulder and struck a tree. It then went airborne and hit another tree on the passenger side. All 3 people in the car were fatally injured. Their names have not been released yet. After being missing for nearly 18 hours, 88-year-old David Pearson is back with his family. News 12's Taylor Bingham has more on how law enforcement was able to reunite Pearson with his family.
Well, Pearson went missing around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The Aiken and Edgefield County Sheriff's Office, SLED, DNR, and State Patrol, as well as many neighbors, joined in the search. It was even more critical to find Pearson fast because he has dementia. The search mostly took place around Whaley Pond Road. He was found near the woods on I-20 near exit 11.
He's in good shape, a little cut up from walking through the woods all night long. but for his age, he is in good shape. He's talking, was walking.
Although the ground search for Pearson was called off around 9:30 last night, the SLED helicopter and tracking team stayed out through the night in effort to find Pearson.
I'm real happy to see the support they got. I mean, it surprised me with the support, the helicopter last night, and what was still coming, and it's been called off now because they found him, but there was people still coming, and there must have been hundreds out here already.
He was transported to a local hospital after he was found. Law enforcement says that he has a few minor scratches, but he is coherent. The family and law enforcement both really are just thankful for the outcry of support, either through people spreading the word or getting out and searching for him in the woods. All in all, everyone is just happy that he's back.
Thank you, Taylor. Family and friends said goodbye this afternoon to the Georgia Marine killed in Chattanooga. 21-year-old Lance Corporal Skip Wells' body was taken from Kennesaw Funeral Home to the First Baptist Church of Woodstock, where his funeral was held at 2 o'clock. People lined the streets waving flags as the funeral procession passed them. Wells was one of 4 Marines killed during the June 16th at the military centers in Chattanooga. A Navy petty officer was also died from his injuries. Less than a week after their church is vandalized, the Metropolitan Community Church says they will move on. Today was their first Sunday back since their front doors and steps were spray painted with the words "burn," "lie," and a Bible verse. Reverend Rick Soamsby says more than twice the people sat in that service today. Later on News 12 at 11 o'clock, we'll hear what the church is doing to make sure that never happens again. Aiken Public Safety wants to make sure your place of worship knows how to stay safe. Public Safety, along with the FBI, are hosting an active shooter awareness meeting on Monday. All leadership from houses of worship in Aiken County and surrounding areas are invited and encouraged to attend. The meeting will be held at Millbrook Baptist Church on South Aiken Boulevard tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. From the election team, 2016 presidential hopeful Rick Santorum is campaigning in Aiken this week. Tuesday, he'll be speaking at the Aiken Republican Club's lunch meeting at Newberry Hall. It's open to the public. Registration starts at 10:30 in the morning. Santorum is expected to arrive between 10:45 and 11 o'clock. The principal of Rollins Elementary School says someone stole electronics from the building. The principal told Richmond County deputies someone threw a rock into a classroom window and stole a computer and a monitor around 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. There are no security cameras, but the fire alarm was tripped and the Augusta Fire Department found that broken window while they were checking the building. South Carolina lawmakers plan to ask officials this week why they allowed the Ku Klux Klan and New Black Panthers Party to hold rallies at the State House. State Senator Carson says the rallies demanded the largest police presence the Capitol has had in at least 30 years. He says he wants to protect freedom of speech, but safety should be a concern with protest permits. 5 people were arrested, and the county sheriff said the crowd was almost out of control. We have a traffic alert for you now if you'll be heading down I-20 westbound tomorrow. A 385,000-pound machine press, or mega load, will be heading down from Columbia County to White, Georgia, starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. The 200-foot-long, 18-foot-wide rig will cause some traffic delays, and it will stop as well. It normally goes about 45 miles per hour, but can slow down to 5 miles per hour at some points. If you pass it, use extreme caution. News 12 is on your side if you're looking for a job. The Edgefield County Job Fair is this Wednesday. It will be held from 10 o'clock till 2 in the Strom Thurmond High School's cafeteria. That's located on Columbia Road in Johnston. There will be several employers there, including Bridgestone, Costa Farms, U.S. Fibers, and many more. 500 kids got free backpacks today in Hephzibah. The Oasis Church gave away backpacks, school supplies, and even haircuts to get kids ready for the first day of school. Organizers say it was a fun and easy way to give back to the community.
We've invited them just to come and hang out with us and to love on them a little bit, just to get to know the community a little bit more.
Kids even got to enjoy some snacks and a movie. Coming up on News 12, the Lafayette community gathered today in church services to remember the 2 women killed in the theater shooting. Meanwhile, investigators are still looking for a motive. And be sure to keep up with us even when we aren't on the air. We have the latest news updates on both Facebook and Twitter. Just search WRDW News 12.
As we start the work week, it's going to be mainly dry, but as we head into the middle part of the week, the rain chances will finally be on the increase. We'll have the full forecast coming up.